Hey, good morning. Welcome to Odd Musings, episode number 235.
Yeah, it's a great day.
Yeah, a little rainy this morning. I was out a little bit for a minute. Had some, one of my preferred customers had placed an order, so I was able to pick up a quick early shop and that. And we're getting close to
Whoa.
holidays. Good to pick up those when you can. So,
I suddenly hit the live. Wait a minute. Where am I? I'm lost in Facebook land. There we go. I'm because the way they change things, like I'm trying to share the link onto my other page and it's
yeah.
like not allowing it. So then I accidentally clicked on it and then I had the broadcast playing in my ears at a delay. It's like, what's going on? Oh boy.
Well, for those that are looking at the comments, no spoilers from today's Hawkeye episode. Don't want any
Yes.
questions. Don't want to discuss anything to do with today's episode at all. There is one more episode next week with Hawkeye, but we would discuss next episode next week. So we want to give people a chance to watch it and see how awesome it was for themselves. I love today's episode and that, but a lot of cool stuff going on there. And I think the biggest thing I see people posting is they're going to wrap it up in 6, and I don't think they are. I think what we're seeing is, and I thought this from the beginning, this is not a one and done season. We may see more of Hawkeye, but I think this is setting up a lot more within the some of the film, but also the television realm of all the. They are hand in hand now, so we're going to see a little bit of both mixed in there. I think we're seeing some more setup of that, and that's what a lot of these initial series have been for, is to set up these next phases. So,
yeah, they're doing a great job. I'm thrilled. Today's episode is great. Like we said, no spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, the only warning I'm going to give is I will be surprised if spoilers don't start hitting the internet very soon. So go see it as fast as you can, or avoid the internet.
Right?
Except for us.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be all over in a heartbeat. And while there is no actual mid-credit scene, watch the credits till the graphics of the credits are done.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
So, because there is a little fun thing in there too. So, but hey, let's get some ad reads out of the way, and we will kind of go from there. So, I'll start us off with Larger Family Chiropractic Center PC, located in Belleville, Michigan, and Dexter, Michigan, and they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient, offering on-site digital X-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give them a call to Belleville location 734-697-4244. Visit them online at largerfamilychiropractic.com. We do always have links at Odd Musings for you guys. And of course, here on their Facebook page, it's at Larger Family Chiro, and you can take a look at some of the stuff that they do there. One thing to keep in mind is if you are local in the area and you're looking for a fun little stocking stuffers, and you're thinking in stuff like the essential oils or things, or even gift cards for like a massage therapy, they do all that there too. So you can actually put together a nice little gift pack for somebody if you're looking for like a wellness pack within the chiropractic realm. Of course, we are now 10 days to Christmas. So
yeah, 10 days.
Hard to believe this. It snuck up on us.
Yeah, it really is flying.
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
A lot of fun there. So, but hey, I got stuff popping on my stupid computer here. So that's Larger Family Chiropractic Center PC. So definitely check them out. They've been with us since day one and are just great friends and great sponsors. Indeed. And then we also have
Team Titans Real Estate. Why? Because you matter. That's right. Even though we utilize the latest in tools and technology to maximize your home buying experience, we never forget at the core, it's still a people business. And that's what we do. We customize the approach to you. We get to know you as the client and the customer. And I got a phone call coming in. I'll have to silence that. There we go. They're like, we need real estate now. No, just kidding. But it's the end of the year. It's been a weird year all around. Weird 2 years actually, which is really weird to say with COVID. But you know what? Real estate market stayed strong through that whole thing because no matter what's happening, whether the economy is up and down, whether the pandemic is up or down, whatever, life happens, and with life comes needs for housing. And so, it happens year round. There is no actual best time to sell. There's higher volumes at summertime, but you have more competition too. Winter is slower, but you have less competition. So, there's pros and cons to all seasons. So give us a call. My number is 586-549-6096. And, be glad to give you a free consultation, go over what your goals are, your needs are, and decide when the best time for you is.
Awesome.
Titans.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's so.
So Brett, you are fresh from Florida.
Yeah, boy, it was nice. 86 degrees, wind chill of 86 degrees. Loved every minute of it. Got some pictures here I'm going to share with you guys. So, this was Mom and I when we got a chance to meet the Grinch.
Yeah.
So, got to see him. And then, of course, they always do some fun stuff out in the parks, decorated, as you can see. Saw the horror makeup show. They don't do a special Christmas edition, but it was a lot of fun.
I
Scott's
really
seen that
enjoyed
show.
that.
Yeah, you would have loved this one. The guys kind of went off book a little bit because one guy said something I think the other one wasn't expecting, and it led to this whole little improv bit within it. But they basically still did the same show they always do, which is still just a blast. And it varies. Depends who you get. There's I've seen the one guy that was there that did was playing the makeup artist guy, and then I've seen a female version. And they do a slightly different banters and things like that. They pick on different people in different ways, but the overall show is about the same. I actually got front row for that one. That was kind of fun to actually sit in the front and see it.
Nice.
So I enjoyed that. And of course, you got people, the dancers out there, and they bring out different things. Mom got to meet some of the Who's from Whoville. So they were around there. And then, of course, Sammy, from our good friend Sammy Castillo, came out and spent the day with me at Universal. So we had a good time there.
Sammy's awesome.
Yep, and I call her she's my little sis, and we had a great day just hanging out at the parks all day, and so it was fun there and seeing all the cool stuff. And this was a couple pictures in the tribute store at night. People come out. The tree's always gorgeous when it's lit up, and a lot of fun stuff there. And so I love going to Universal. I love the way they decorate. It's a lot of fun. I got a chance to see the parade. Of course, Diagon Alley and is always great when they get it all decorated and lit up at night. And of course, I got a couple blurry pictures too. Watch this. This is fun. So, so I got to see the dragon at night and stuff like that. But just gorgeous.
That's such a great place. It really does transport you to another world.
Yeah, and I love being there during the holidays. I hadn't been in 4 years at the holiday time. Definitely gonna try to keep doing that. I hope I can do it every year if it works out for timing and stuff like that, because I just enjoy the parade, enjoy the Grinchmas show, and of course I just enjoy Universal as a whole. But it's just a lot of fun. They just do such a great job, and they have other stuff set up. They got a new mascot this year, Earl. And then there's an extra story behind it. I guess they about 10 years ago, when they set up the tree, a squirrel decided he wanted to live in the big tree there after they had it all decorated and everything. And he was stealing the blue lights. So now this year, for the first time, they created Earl the Squirrel, and he had a bunch of merchandise. What's funny is they set it up like he's got a tree farm. And on some of the stuff, it said Amity Tree Farm, which is a nod to the Jaws, in the town of Amity and that. And then another was just Earl's Tree Farm. So I think they started one way and then switched to another. I personally like the Amity. I thought it was funny and stuff like that. But and then a couple of pictures were from what they call a tribute store. They have over by where the Jimmy Fallon ride is. They have a building that for years I didn't know nothing was in there as far as I know. Maybe offices. Now it's a tribute store. So they have a bunch of rooms you can walk through. They're all decorated and themed towards the holidays. They had a Wizarding World room where you can get some of the stuff there, and they had a few like exclusives in there to find. So it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Had 4 full days there. I got to see my sister Brooke and the boys there as well. Elijah and David came out and had fun with us for the day on Saturday. Got to my cousin and her husband came out with the baby, so we had dinner with them on Saturday. Hadn't met Maddie yet. Maddie is 6 months old now, so I got to meet her and just had a great time overall. We just had great weather, and it was just nice to have a little vacation where there was no actual work involved, and I could just relax, have fun, and enjoy myself.
Yeah, very nice. And amazingly, everyone is still alive in Florida, even though they've been open like forever.
Well, they have the lowest numbers right now. So
yep. So, well, very good. Glad you had a good time. It's always a fun trip out there, so it's nice to get away.
Yep.
So looks like you had a good time. Now, while you were there, I think in honor of your trip there, did you see they released a Fantastic Beasts 3 trailer?
I did. It's kind of weird that Johnny Depp's not in it, and it sucks that they went that route. I'm sure they will explain.
Especially since it's come out, the whole Amber Heard thing is why he was let go. And now it's come out Amber Heard was the problem. not Johnny Depp. And I really wish Johnny Depp was part of this, if for no other reason than they screwed him over. But cancel culture got rid of Johnny Depp. With that said, Mads, I always forget his last name.
Yeah,
the builder of the Death Star in Rogue One. He's going to play Grindelwald.
Yeah, now Grindelwald in the first movie started off as one actor and then became Johnny Depp. And then Johnny Depp was in the next one, The Crimes of Grindelwald. So I'm waiting to see if they actually do something to show his change, and wondering if like his look and that changes all the time. And that's how they will explain it going forward.
They definitely could have a spell go wrong or something, or they could just ignore that it's a different guy.
I think what you're showing is clips from the first, the second movie there.
Well, this is the trailer.
That's not the right trailer. That's the one from the second one. Yeah. Yeah. So
it says Fantastic Beasts 3. Look at even the title.
Yeah. So that's because that was all scenes from the second one, and those weren't in the trailer I saw.
So this is probably some fan thing.
Probably. Yeah.
Where is it?
It should be there easily. I've seen it all over
I know.
YouTube and all that. So
it literally was labeled the Fantastic Beasts 3 trailer.
I'm excited for it. It comes out in April. It looks really good. It's the Secrets of Dumbledore. So we're going to dive more into the Dumbledore family. In the trailer, we see Dumbledore's brother. Now, of course, they show him younger. And here's what I thought in this. When in the Harry Potter movies, when Harry goes back and looks through the pensive and sees the memory with a young Tom Riddle, and Dumbledore looks the same. I think that's more of how Harry's brain would have interpreted seeing him like that, because he'd never seen him younger. So I think that's a way of excusing the fact that they've got a younger actor playing, and that Dumbledore looked old then and looks old now. But in the new trailer, we do see a picture of Dumbledore when he's older. So I'm wondering if it's actual footage from the Harry Potter movies, or did the actor come back and film some more? I haven't had a chance to look up anything on that. So, but I'm excited for
the proper trailer to play in the background.
Well, let's put it up there.
I'll play on. I'll leave the sound off, but it is. It looks great. Love what they see here. They're making the connection between old and young there.
Yep. And then they're here to see Albus, and they actually that's Albus's brother, Albafor. And I believe it's Albafor, something like that. Which we didn't really hear nothing about until even in the books. Until
there's Grindelwald there.
Yep. And what he was doing there was taking a memory out, which is what Dumbledore showed with the pensive. They put it in the pensive, and then you could look at it.
Now, I'll admit, the whole Johnny Depp thing, I would have preferred if they didn't fire him. However, I actually would have preferred if Mads was Grindelwald from the start. He's a great actor, amazing actor. Johnny Depp, I like Johnny Depp, but he's done characters for so much. You start seeing the similarities, and it starts being Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I thought he did a good job as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, but I think Mads would have been a better choice if they had gone with him all the way from the beginning.
Right. And I like him too. I think he's going to do a fantastic job in this.
He played Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
So we're used to he can play really good bad guys.
So. Yeah. And I think he's doing well. And we're also seeing I think it's Jacob from the first movie. He's the Obscura. And he's growing up more and more as this is going on. So we're seeing him older, and he's still around. So I think he's still an integral part of this entire series of movies they're doing.
Yeah. So and we see some shots of Hogwarts at one point. So it's looking good.
And then we see there's Queenie there, who Jacob is, of course, that's his woman. So he's after her. And
I really feel like this is going to be the definitive movie for the Fantastic Beasts series. I think the other ones were all set up. I enjoyed them, but they didn't give me that wow, like that the original movies did. I think this one is going to make that connection to make it really feel like a Harry Potter series.
Yeah, it's really delving more into the wizarding world that everybody wants to know. I mean, it was neat in the first movie. Okay, he came to America. You got to see, okay, there is wizards in America. They kind of always assume there's wizards all over the world. But see, they have their own schools in America. They do things a little different. But realistically, as fans want, well, we'll use the term everybody loves to use these days, fan service. They want to hear the terms muggles. They want to see Hogwarts. They want to see all the stuff they're used to from the Harry Potter movies. I mean, if that was the case and people didn't, then the Wizarding Worlds at Universal wouldn't be set up to look like you're in England.
Right. Well, and that's it. You fall in love with a certain series, but you can move on from major characters, but there's a core DNA to what that universe is, and you got to stay true to it. I mean, even in our real world, I mean, it's like, well, why are you following those same characters? Well, in real world, I mean, how do you explore the founding of our country without including George Washington's tale? I mean, he's such played a pivotal role, or the founding fathers, or any of them. And it's like, oh, geez, you're telling another story about Thomas Jefferson. Well, he was an integral part to the history of what happened. And just like Luke Skywalker, why are you going back to him? He defeated the massive empire, destroyed the Death Star. He's a major historical figure in that universe. So it's kind of hard to ignore that he exists. So,
well, and in that vein, you posted and shared the bringing back Harrison Ford as Han Solo, but we've not been confirmed which series yet. Well, I think it's going to be Book of Boba myself.
I don't think it's been confirmed he's back. I think that's rumor. I don't think it's been officially confirmed. So now one person pointed out that the site that I shared is notorious for just putting false information out. However, with that said, when you take it in the larger context, the Book of Boba Fett's about 6 years after Return of the Jedi, so Han Solo's still alive. Second, Marvel, Disney likes using de-aging technology to bring its actors back. Third, they did it with Mark Hamill already. Fourth, it looks like there's flashback scenes from the trailers going back to Tatooine when Boba Fett worked for Jabba. There's a character in the background that looks like old Obi-Wan Kenobi, the cantina scene.
Yeah.
Fifth, from the special editions, we know Han Solo was present at that time, and as well as Boba Fett when Han Solo talks to Jabba. So I have a feeling they're creating a flashback scene that we're going to see an interaction with Han and Boba.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah. Some people are like, oh no, we didn't, leave Han alone. They already ruined him in the sequels. Keep in mind, this is Favreau and Filoni handling this.
Yeah.
They will do it justice if this happens.
Yeah. If this is true, then I expect it to be a brilliant cameo. If it's already been announced or not announced, kind of leaked. Yeah. See, nobody leaked the Luke Skywalker. Nobody uploaded and transmitted where you could watch it. So if this has been kind of leaked, I think it's done on purpose, and we'll probably see it in the first episode.
It could be leaked, or I mean, so many of these guys now are so good at looking at contracts of actors and figuring out where they are and piecing things together, because so much is able to be found out. But my suspicion is, I think there will be a flashback scene, but Han Solo is around after Return of the Jedi as well. So they could easily just make him de-age to the present, just like they did with Luke. He wasn't a flashback. He was in the current timeline. So they could easily do that.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be then. I would see it being something that where they run cross paths again. And, and it's because, I mean, we had, even if they don't retcon The Force Awakens through, Rise of Skywalker, if they like there's been rumors of, well, we know that Han Solo during that time was him and Leia were together. Leia was training, but he was still off doing his thing. He was trying to figure out, his place where he needed to be at. He still was a smuggler at heart. Yeah. So he could have still been doing some smuggling then. So, that's not unheard of for that. So.
Yeah, I still think they're going to retcon everything. I really do, because now they're talking about bringing the characters back from the sequels, even saying that they're not over with. I think they are going to retcon it through Ahsoka and her ability to go through the veil of the Force to change things. And like I said in a previous episode, those mirrors that are used to travel through the veil of the Force that the Emperor was using were on board of the fallen Death Star. So there is a way within the universe's own rules and laws of time can go to the Death Star at the moment that Vader and Luke fought the Emperor there.
right.
at the end of Return of the Jedi. So it can happen. So we'll see. But anyways, Boba Fett's on the cover of TV Guide, according to Michelle.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that because I don't pay TV Guide. I haven't in years, so
Yeah, but
that's cool.
It's going to be a huge series. They're going to continue on Wednesdays, just like Hawkeye is. So Hawkeye's last episode will be next week, and then Boba Fett's first episode will be the week after. I like how Michelle has Bobo Fett, though. Gotta love Bobo Fett. Not making fun of you, Michelle.
It's Bobo.
Bobo.
Yeah. It's Bobo Fett. Yeah.
I love when people will at conventions will ask me if I have any artwork for Bubba Fett. You have any of that Bubba Fett? Like, who's Bubba Fett? Is that
there you go. You gotta draw a big guy, and you gotta deck him out in Southern, use the Confederate flag and all that to really offend everybody. And there's Boba Fett.
Bubba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah. We'll get me some hogback and some chitlins, and now we just upset the South.
And we're canceled.
Yep.
Actually, I think you're allowed to upset the South. So I think that's the one group we're allowed to. So we're good.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Actually, we'll probably gain viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Boba Fett's popping up everywhere with it launching in 2 weeks, which is awesome. I saw there's some new toys. Today there's a couple pre-orders. One is it looks like the classic Boba Fett with the firing rocket.
Oh, cool.
So at 1 o'clock it says major retailers. I don't know which one. So I'm assuming Amazon, probably Target, things like that. So a lot of cool stuff on that. So I think it's really neat. It's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. They keep releasing little snippets here and there, and I'm real excited. And I like Robert Rodriguez, so I think he's gonna do a fantastic job.
Definitely
in that. But excited about all that. So
another, there's so many viewers who just are like such spot on with their observation. Somebody grabbed from one of the commercials. There's a scene of Boba Fett walking through a door. And they matched it up to the deleted scenes from Star Wars Episode 4 of when Luke went to Tashi Station, and they were able to show all the similarities. So we think we're going to see Boba Fett going to Tashi Station, maybe to pick up some power converters. So it's a neat way because Tashi Station is such a big part of the storyline as far as just, the dialogue.
Yeah.
We never see it because it got deleted.
Yeah,
so it'll be cool to bring it to the screen.
Yeah, even in earlier scripts of the original Star Wars, I've read through a few of those over the years, and there was a little more that happened there besides him just seeing Biggs. He had a few friends, and they actually had a good sequence there.
Yeah, can you imagine being one of those actors though? You make it onto the biggest movie of all time, and you're cut.
Yep. Well, I mean, Biggs made it to the end.
Biggs did,
and but the other ones, they got cut out completely.
Cammy, or not Cammy. There's another one who is she's Han Solo's girlfriend at the beginning.
Yeah,
she's sitting with him in the cantina, and she ends up leaving. So you only see her briefly. She got cut. Like that's gotta be horrible to be those people, or even worse. Until prior to our current format of TV and everything, everything's widescreen.
Right.
Prior, they would clip everything to TV format. And there's one guy in particular in the room where Vader does the force choking of the guy.
Yeah.
He's sitting on the edge. So he made it into the theatrical cut, but then for like 15 years, no one ever saw him because he was on the side that got cut for the TV formatting.
Yeah.
And I could just see it finally getting released in widescreen. He's like, see, I told you I was in it.
Well, that happens to everything. It's funny as how much that stuff happens. It's like I tell people with movie Blazing Saddles. I said I watched it for years in what they call full frame, it was the 1.33 to 1 is the ratio versus the 185 or 2.75 to 1, depending on which in between there. So I watched Blazing Saddles for years. Bought it on DVD when it first came out on DVD, and it's in widescreen. Never seen it in widescreen before. And I watched it and going, my God, I missed all these little side jokes and these side things going on that are make it even funnier. So it's like watching the movie for the first time after watching it for decades.
Yeah.
Missing out on. And when before we all had widescreen TVs, people go, "Oh, I don't like the black bars talking about them. They're taking away from some of my screens." Like, no, they're not. You're seeing more of the actual image. And I was actually even on video would buy stuff in widescreen. The few things that were available, I remember getting like Jurassic Park stuff like that. And this is pre DVD because I like seeing the entire image. The black bars at top and bottom never bothered me because I saw the whole image.
Well, the other issue too was just size of TVs. I mean, we all had
Yeah.
13-inch TVs, which means if you had the bars, your image was 6 inches tall.
Well, yeah. And now what do? We all watch 6-inch tall screens.
Right? Isn't that funny? We've gone back to small screens.
Yeah.
It is funny how that works. But
Michelle sent Mom a picture. Here's let me see if you can see it there. It's gonna be kind of tough. Here
is it the Boba Fett?
It's the Boba Fett on the TV Guide.
All right, there he is. Perfect.
That's a great cover. I may have to go find one of those tomorrow when I go shopping.
Was that is Fennec on there?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to pick one of those up if I see it in the store because she's a postal delivery, so she's delivering those. And that, so it's gotta get ready for Christmas. She's been working hard, and she had to miss. They had to cancel drumming last night because the post has got to work so hard. So y'all need to be grateful to your post office people because they're out there working double shifts a lot of times to make sure that your really, really crappy, cakes and stuff get to people. So
yes, indeed.
Kevin Miner.
Let's give an update on Bard Stone since Kevin's in the room. So with Crimson Shadows 3, I am almost done fully coloring pages 1 through 9.
Nice.
The flat colors fell behind a little bit because Shara's child got sick. So they're recovering, though. Everything's well. So she's just running a little behind, but she had the first 10 pages done. So pages 1 through 9 are almost fully complete. Her delay is not going to hold me up at all. She's about to send more over to me soon.
Fantastic.
So she said by the end of the week, I should have quite a bit. So that's moving along really nice. As far as the Frankenstein book goes, Kevin had asked me what I want him to do. So I'll give it some thought. I have an idea or two, but so I'll keep Kevin posted on that. What else? And then Crimson Shadows, after issue 3 goes out, the trade, I'm putting that together as well. The inks are done for the bonus story that gets put into the trade, which will have issues 1 through 3.
Yeah, so, well, we haven't talked about our time frame amongst us. Basically, we're looking at Frankenstein coming out. Kevin's going to have Poe pins available as a Kickstarter. And then we're looking at these trades out for you guys with some.
Poe's going to have a trade.
Poe and Crimson Shadows. And Kevin was at C2E2 this past weekend. Sent us an update.
Yeah.
And it sounds like everything went well. I got to tell you guys, for those that have been supporting our Kickstarter, supporting Bardstone, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're doing more next year, not just some trades. We're going to have some new issues of stuff and getting things out there for you guys. And we look forward to seeing it. We have a book ready for a couple of us to go to. And I actually I booked Indiana already. I booked Tampa, but I may have to back out of that because I'm looking like it's going to be too tight with San Diego. So,
okay.
But it's just, I thought about it, I was like, oh, I can't. Back-to-back shows are tough when you're flying both shows.
that is for sure.
So, the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, we'll see. So we'll let you guys know when we get our finalized show thing. Motor City Comic Con. All 3 of us should be at that one this coming May. Mm-hmm. And then I know Kevin and I will be at Great Lakes. Scott may be popping in to Stormtrooper it up or something. We'll see. And then so we'll have you guys come out to those shows and check things out, and just looking forward to it because we've got a lot of cool stuff coming out, and really grateful to everybody that was out in C2E2 this past weekend in Chicago and supported Bardstone by buying the books. So that's what we appreciate.
And also, if you guys are into it, I have created a Bardstone Rareable account. If you are into NFTs, non-fungible tokens, it's basically, long story short, it's a way of owning original artwork by the creator. It's in digital format, but the way it all works is the blockchain code makes it so it's linked to the creator. And so it authenticates it. And those are available for sale through our Rareable also. So you can buy original pages from the comic. Just to clarify, I'll be very fast. It's going to be an oversimplified thing, but think about it like this. People are like, well, do I own part of the comic? Do I get royalties? Why do I want this versus just grabbing a screenshot. Here's how it works. Let's say you go to a comic book convention and you find an artist that you've been following for years, and they are selling original pages of the comic, like let's say Spider-Man. They have original pages that they worked on. If you buy that original page from them, you don't own the rights to the book. You don't have printing rights. You don't get a royalty. You just simply own that page.
Right.
And now, why pay $100 for that original page when you could just grab a screenshot of that page online for free, or you could take a photo of it, or you could make a Xerox copy in black and white? What's the difference? It still looks the same. Well, the difference is the originality of it, and that's what gives it its value. It's the rarity of the original. And the blockchain in this acts as a certificate of authenticity, so people know this wasn't through somebody else, somebody edited it. They know this is the original. So that's how NFTs work. It's a little weird for us. We're in the older generation now where to us, it's like, well, why would you want a digital copy? The reality is, the younger crowd, this is the future of how things will be traded. So when you own this, if it goes up in value, you can resell it and make money on it. It's a collectible. So we have the pages up for sale as original pages that you could buy through Rareable if you're interested. And I'm telling you, the feedback Kevin's reporting, Brett's been reporting, I've been experiencing, people are loving our books. So, check it out.
They're good stories. I've enjoyed working on them, and I can tell you that every show that we've sold a bunch of books at, we've had a few of those people able to come back and say, "Loved it, can't wait for the next one." Definitely. And that's so a lot of cool stuff there. So, but yeah, so it's a lot of good stuff. Marshall's going to be moving forward. We're excited about it, and definitely we'll pick someone else this next year.
Right now in our pipeline, we've already got close to being done. Let's see, Poe trade, Crimson Shadows trade, Frankenstein. Right there's 3 books that are almost ready for launch. In addition to Crimson Shadows 3 that's about to ship, Poe 3 just shipped. So we're moving forward pretty good. We're at a good pace considering our size.
Yeah. 3 guys and Shara down in Brazil.
Brazil, that's right.
So, well, awesome.
So we talked at the beginning about Hawkeye there. Yeah. How about we do a quick review of last week's episode 4?
Yeah, we've got it was a good episode. This was a great transition episode to set up for these last 2 that we're getting, including today's, which is available, and I highly recommend you watch today's sooner than later, because it's setting up everything for this final episode. And I told Scott this before we got in the air. People have been posting about how are they going to wrap everything up. They're not going to wrap everything up in a nice, tidy package with a bow. They have set stuff up in this episode for ongoing, and that's what this is part of for all these series. They did the same in WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. All these series have been, even Loki. It's all about setting up what's going to be going forward with the MCU, and the way they're doing it is they can actually spend a little time doing these little nuances so things can start flowing in and out all over the place. So
I feel like they're finding their voice, so to speak, on how the series will coexist with the movies.
Yes.
And I'm loving it. They're kind of doing 2 stories at once. You've got the self-contained story arc of the season, but it's part of a larger picture that will flow into future series or movies. I think they're doing a phenomenal job, and I've been really liking it.
Yeah, no, and I'm loving it, and they've set up everything in here. I mean, the reveal from last week is the tie into Black Widow. Mm-hmm. That was the big reveal. And I'm really excited about that. But I mean, what we're seeing here is through this whole series, the Kate Bishop, is becoming more and more of her own, but also realizing, Clint's basically trying to keep her from becoming what she seems to be pretty much destined to become, which is the next Hawkeye. So,
yes, I have to say, I really, really hope the Tracksuit Mafia ends up being in future movies. I'm loving these guys.
I think they need
their own series
spin-off. Yeah, they need an animated spin-off of the Tracksuit Mafia, and they need to make it look like from back with the Wacky Racers, the mobsters they had in the
Yes.
Wacky Race. They had them all in
Exa-
tracksuits.
exactly. So
Yeah,
loving that.
I think we're looking at the same page. Oh no, you're on Forbes. I'm on Den of Geek. A lot of the
Okay.
same pictures though, because I had to go back and just kind of get a couple of refreshers and stuff like that. But we learn more on this one about who Jack Duquesne is,
Hmm.
um, and his relationship to the tracksuit mafia.
Hmm.
So we've got a little more of that going on.
I also the car chase scene was great with the trick arrows. Um, there was a nice tie into the larger universe in that Hawkeye used a PIM arrow using the Ant-Man technology to create that giant arrow that impaled the cars that were chasing them. So that was fun.
Yes,
Um,
I love that.
but they've done a great job. I'm enjoying Kate as a character.
Yep.
She's a younger character, but I think they're doing a really good job with her, making it feel natural that she has these abilities. They've unfolded it in a way where it doesn't feel like she was just shoehorned in.
Right.
Um,
Well, I mean,
I like the
it
backstory.
tied up from the beginning. From the beginning, she sees the Battle of New York. She sees Hawkeye and becomes enamored with the superhero Hawkeye. And so herself, she starts learning bow and arrow. She starts training as a young one. She wants to be like him. I mean, and she shows it. She's actually got the skills. She was winning awards. She's in college as an archer and other stuff. And so they did a great job of really setting all that up. I don't and 'cause too many times in some of these movies, here comes this character and out of nowhere they can do stuff. It's like, where did they learn to do this? We never heard
Right.
anything about that. She's got the background for everything. The difference between her training versus what Clint has is Clint was, as he's put it a few times through the series, a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he was. And he was trained to kill, and that was it. And that's part of the reason we saw Ronin, the character Ronin he created. So, and not Ronin the accuser, it was Ronin the ninja.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it's great how they do it, and I like how she's been playing the character the actress has. Uh, I think she just does a good job, and I hope to see definitely more of her after this series is done.
Yeah, I think she's got that level of ability. I think she could carry the character forward
Yeah,
and make it good. Hit a good target audience too. I mean, it's a way where they're not just hijacking another character to make it somebody else. She is her own character,
yeah,
and I like what they're doing.
yeah. And she's picking up things. I like the coin trick that
Yeah,
Hawkeye worked with her on and taught her how to do the thing he does with the coins and that.
yeah,
So she's picking up on those things pretty quickly, which is really cool.
yeah, definitely. So
Yeah,
good stuff. This was kind of a middle of the episode season, so the fight scene was really good. Where, like Brett said, Yelena came back, Natasha's sister.
yeah.
There's this 4-way fight between
We got
the
Maya.
Maya, her, Clint, and Kate. So it was fun seeing the interaction between them all.
Yep.
There.
And Maya definitely is, I think she's a major character in this, and she's got her own grudge against Ronan,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why she's going after him. And of course, she's kind of the leader of the tracksuit mafia, but she's really not. She's almost a figurehead in some ways. I mean, but she's a tough gal herself. She can definitely take on anybody. So, and she is and actually a deaf actress too. So
Yep.
she's not playing deaf. And I read an article, I guess, when Jeremy Renner came out and said he actually learned a little bit of sign language ahead of time so he could actually say hi to her and welcome her to the show.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool on that. But she's a good actress. I like her. She's really good. She's got some good action shots. She's definitely holds her own in all of this, and I think it adds a lot to it. So,
Yeah. Looking
but
forward to where things go.
yep. And then I was looking at this thing here, a couple of things with that Jack Duquesne, and he's like, when he calls Hawkeye Archer,
Oh, that's funny.
it basically says deliberately, kind of a dink move on his part. Especially as Clint's known as Hawkeye everywhere, as saving the world and all that stuff. So I think
Is
it's
there
kind
a
of funny that.
DC character called Archer?
Oh,
It sounds like a name I knew.
well, to me, I always liken it to Green Arrow, and I always dealt with himself as an archer, stuff like that. So I think in this, when Hawkeye sings, calling him an archer is kind of like saying, "Oh, he does archery and that's it." Where
Right.
Hawkeye, his main weapon choice has been a bow, but he's trained in everything, as we see with his swords and everything else. So,
Mhm.
and of course, they've been hinting at Jack being the swordsman,
Mhm.
in this. So, we'll see more of that as I'm sure this goes on. I think he's going to be an ongoing threat even after this season's done, depending on what they end up doing with him in the next two episodes. Uh, and then, of course, they're
I'm
hinting at
gonna.
yeah. Go
You know
ahead.
what this series also reveals?
Yep.
Clint Barton. And I'm gonna say it. It's controversial. Is way better than Bruce Wayne. All he has is a bow and arrow. He doesn't need all the planes and gadgets and everything. He has trick arrows.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he doesn't use any tricks, but he is battling alongside gods and superheroes and titans and surviving. And he doesn't have. Batman is surrounded by everything. Same with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Clint only has a bow and arrow. He doesn't have a suit of armor that
Yeah.
protects him. He just has like a little, almost like a dirt bike padding, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and they're also this episode, the LARPers are back.
yep,
And
that's been fun.
I love those guys, and especially the fireman guy that had the super weapon.
Grills.
Yep. And he's they're the one girl, this LARPer's gonna make them new costumes. So I'm excited to see eventually them get the new costume. I think we've already seen them in some of the promo images, but
Mhm.
it's kind of funny that the LARPers are gonna make them new outfits.
Mhm.
But it also shows the fact that it's like with Clinton, one thing he wants to retire and disappear.
He
But
just
the other
wants to be a
thing,
family man.
yeah, so this is, I mean, he went the whole Ronin thing because his family disappeared, so he
Right.
kind of just lost his mind, like a lot of people did. So, but it's with them back, that's all he wants, is family, and they're still there wherever they are at. They are still hidden from the
Yeah.
main world. So,
So I've been watching theories about the snap and when everybody
yes,
returned. I'm not going to get into the what or the how as far as this week's episode, but it does kind of confirm the theory.
yeah,
When the snap happened, everyone disappeared
right,
5 years earlier. When this second snap happens, they come back, but they come back exactly where they were.
right.
So what happened to the people who disappeared on flights?
I see. That's what they haven't addressed. I thought that
They
myself too.
reappeared probably at 10,000 feet in the air with nothing in
Or
to fly in.
30,000 feet, and they're
Yeah.
gone. So there was definitely uh see, that's the thing. That's where I think that they didn't ponder that, because they showed a little bit, like
Yeah.
when the snap happened, planes crashed
Right.
because the planes themselves didn't disappear, the people did. And if the
Right.
pilots disappeared, they crashed.
Right.
Now, but yeah,
But
if they
did the
came,
snap bring back the people who died 2 minutes after the snap because their plane crashed? Probably not. So those
yeah,
people would have stayed dead. And
well,
the
and that's
people who disappeared reappeared all of a sudden 5 years later up in the air with no plane, and
yeah.
they're all plummeting.
Or, well, here's the thing: and the planes themselves would have been landed or crashed. So if they're down, would they have actually appeared at exact point in the air where they were at, or where the plane would end up at? It's one of those tricky things. I personally think that it was like uh when he makes the snap, and Iron Man brings everybody back. It was like, he's part of the thing, because you basically control everything, is everybody should have been brought back safely on the ground.
Right.
And maybe they did return on the ground exactly where they were at. Hopefully nobody was over the sea.
Well, like if you
but
were in the middle of crossing the street walking.
but if there
Now
was
you were here. Now a
if there,
car's coming and
but if there was like as many people that fly every day, tens of millions of people, and even if only half of them were taken, then there's still millions of people that died again.
right.
At splat, 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 splat. If they
Yeah.
were up in the
So
air, and then everything else, or on boats. Shoot, if they're on boats and disappear, they come back and they're
they're just in
drop,
the water.
they're in the water. And what if they're in the middle of the ocean and like, why am I here?
Shark's like, hey, food.
Yeah. So that's kind of
Interesting stuff.
yeah, that's something to ponder on that. So, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Can't wait for everybody to talk about next week's episode. And of course, by the time we have the show next week, we'll watch and that, and then I got Book of Boba Fett, so looking forward to that too. So,
and we also have dun dun dun. Spider-Man's coming out this week. No
yes,
Way
I'm
Home.
going. I got my ticket 7:10 tomorrow night. I'll be going to see it. They sold out fast.
The early reviews are doing awesome.
Yep.
Nothing but praise. So I'm highly excited for this.
Yeah, I'm avoiding all write-ups about it just because I don't want any spoilers. So
yeah, we are. You have to see this Thursday night or Friday. I don't think the internet will contain the spoilers, so I'm going to see it right away.
Yep.
I'm excited to see it, and irresponsible speculation. I'm excited to see. Will we see a live action Spider-Gwen as part of the multiverse thing? Will we see what other? And it's not just spider people who are multiverse. What other? Maybe they'll throw in somebody from another Marvel thing. We don't know.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because this is opening up everything for us to go forward. I mean, next stop after this will be the Doctor Strange movie, I believe, which has been pushed back a little bit, so it's not gonna be as close to this as possible. It sounds like though this is gonna have a killer opening weekend. I even saw reports of people scalping tickets for preview night in New York City.
I know, like $25,000 or something people are paying. They're supposedly. I'd like to see if anyone actually collected that.
That's ridiculous. My thing is, they're going to open up more screens. It's like, even like Star Wars Force Awakens is selling out so fast, and people miss. Oh, I couldn't get tickets for the first couple of days. I can't go for 3-4 days. You go 4 days later. You just avoid the internet. That's what I do. And I've done that before, and it's like, and I finally go see it. And then sometimes I've been at shows, and people come up, did you? No, and don't even give me a non-spoiler. I hate when people say this is a non-spoiler. Something I could have enjoyed still that would have been fun. Yeah, it's not detrimental to the plot, but a spoiler to me is something I wouldn't know is going to be in there. So don't take that. So. Yeah, Tony Stark's not dead in other universes. Yep.
Well, and that they could bring him back that way. I think we're going to get Tony Stark back in future movies, but here's how. I don't think it's going to be through multiverse Tony Starks. I think it will be through the AI he created. I think he'll be like a Force ghost. He'll be a hologram through his AI that he uploaded his consciousness into. We see it at the very end where he's talking to everyone at the funeral or whatever. And I think they'll utilize that to bring him back is my prediction.
Well, we do have they're bringing in the teenage girl that creates her own Iron Man armor,
and that's where I think we'll see him.
Yeah, and we'll see that. I think we'll see that too within that, and she's going to be the next Iron person. Of course, we have Armor Wars 2 coming out, so we should hopefully get to see Rhodey again.
Ironheart is her name.
Ironheart, yep. And then we got hopefully Rhodey's coming back with Armor Wars, so a lot of cool stuff. And they're starting to see some links for the Moon Knights, more images from the sets and stuff.
And like they're saying that's going to be their most violent Marvel product to date.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see as well, which also supports the theory that they won't have a problem with Punisher.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they're going to do Punisher, they'll have to do it right. Punisher as a series to me was a better couple of seasons than, and as much as I enjoyed Daredevil, I thought it was better than Daredevil. And Daredevil was good. It was just the other series that didn't, and the Defenders that didn't work for Netflix. So
I just wonder if, because they have confirmed Charlie Cox as Daredevil will be part of the MCU, so that is confirmed now.
And I wonder if we'll see him in the She-Hulk series.
I think so.
So,
but what I'm curious to know is, will these just be considered a multiverse version of the Netflix versions, or will they keep those stories and pull them in and just allow their backstories to remain the same?
I think they'll allow the backstories because the series on Netflix, they did tie into the MCU. They weren't a separate thing. They had hints of what was going on around the Avengers and things like that.
Right.
So
I don't see
it's
any
going to be a
conflict.
continuation. Yeah.
If you just pick up the stories where they go and allow those to exist as the backstories, I see no conflict there. And if they do that, hopefully they bring Foggy back.
Yep.
Iron Fist nobody wants, so just leave him away. But I wouldn't mind Luke Cage back.
Yeah. Luke Cage would be great.
I could do without what's her name.
Jessica
Yeah, I didn't
Jones, yeah,
I
Kristen
didn't
Ritter.
care for her, but
Well, I mean, the character even in the comics is not that popular, so they
yeah,
tried to revise her after the series with some stuff in the comics. And I never heard anybody talk.
yeah.
So, but
So
I just see, we'll see. It's gonna be a lot of cool stuff on that. But yeah, I expect to see Charlie. I mean, heck, we could even see him in the Spider-Man movie. I mean, they're really. I mean, we already know they're bringing him back because they've already talked about that. So we'll
yeah,
see him. You know, Matt Murdock. And I can see him being a character that bounces between the cinema and the TV shows.
yep,
And then maybe we'll
I
see
agree.
another season with him, you know, a new Daredevil season down the road.
That would be ideal on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. So we had talked about the Spider-Man movies that right now supposedly people are paying up to $25,000
Yep.
for those tickets. If you want to buy one of those tickets, but you're a little short on money, I may have a solution.
Okay.
Have you heard about this? This woman is on 90 Day Fiance. She makes $45,000 a week farting in a jar and overnight shipping them to her fans.
Yeah, I heard that on Bob and Tom's show this morning when I was out working for a minute. And I'm just like, my God.
We are doing things wrong. So I'm just going to make it clear. If anybody wants to pay me $45,000, I will gladly send one to you.
Oh my God. You know,
What?
this is just.
She's made 90,000 total so far.
Now I've
in
heard
the
of
couple of
like
weeks she's
the
been
crazy
doing this.
stuff like this before for some of these reality stars and they're influencers now and all this other stuff. And if anybody is sending them whatever money they want for this stuff, you're a moron.
Well, I think it's a.
What she does? She farted in old mayonnaise jars. Oh, it smells like Miracle Whip.
So supposedly her technique is she has a jar. She puts a flower petal into it or a leaf. So when she does, there is something for the smell to attach to. It will last up to 2 days in the jar. So she ships it overnight. So you'll have roughly 24 hours with the jar to do whatever you're going to do with it. And she charges $100 per jar.
Oh, jeez.
Which means she's made 90,000. That means she has sold 900 of these.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Come on. And this is why there's no need to work
and people are questioning about digital artwork.
Right. What's I'm charging like $2 for a digital authentic piece of art, but that's too much. But I'll pay $100 for a jar full of your body scents. We're just in the wrong industry.
I guess. Jeez.
So anyway, I had to share that. I was listening to that this morning. I'm like, oh my God, I got to post this.
I heard that on Bob and Tom, and I was like, my God. You know, and I've heard stories like this before. You know, it comes out every so often. Someone does this, and people are moronic enough to spend that kind of money and drop money like this for. I mean, they're gonna crack it up going, "Oh, her farts smell like ass." Yes, of course it does.
For the record, I don't even want it if it was free.
No.
In fact, if she paid me $100, I don't want it.
Right.
It's like, no, you keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
So that's part of the crazy world. You wonder why nobody's working in stores anymore or restaurants, because you can make $90,000 farting in a jar. So why work?
Jeez. Well, yeah. And this is someone that obviously should not be in this kind of, should be in the service industry because she's service. So I don't know.
Crazy.
Yes. So that was nuts. So, but yeah, so we got a good week. Both those things. We'll probably talk about that next week with you guys. A little bit of Hawkeye.
Yep. Next week we can talk this week's episode of Hawkeye, which was really good.
Yep. And like I said, stay through the animated parts of the credits. There's no scene, but there's a little shot that I think is really
a cool end graphic.
Yeah. So a lot of fun on that, and then
Spider-Man. What else? Isn't there something else coming out?
Well,
really soon.
Matrix comes out next
Oh yeah,
week.
Matrix. Yep.
Matrix, Kingsman. I mean, there's several movies coming out this next week.
Yeah.
And I expect all of them to much better than West Side Story, which has tanked miserably.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing, and that's why I'm real quick on this before we sign off. I read about this. They're trying to like, oh, he was too woke for the audience and the young people. I was like, no, he wasn't too woke. The original, if you like the original West Side Story, if you like that, it's basically what this is. They just redid it. There's a couple reimaginings, but nobody cares when you can go watch the original and it still holds up because it's set in that time period. It was filmed in that time period. So I mean, and everything I'm hearing about it, it sounds like they just really crapped the bed with it. It was just nobody went and saw it because nobody cares. It's not because young people. It's not the Ridley Scott answer of why people didn't see his movie because it sucked. It's not because they have other stuff they can watch on their phones. It's because nobody cares. Who cares about when you're taking these old musicals? It's not because they don't care about musicals. I know a lot of young people that love musicals. They talk about them at shows all the time, but they don't want this old musical that's been regurgitated a bunch of times. Heck, they probably still show it in a lot of classrooms. So why would you go see an updated version when you probably just saw it as a kid not that long ago? And if you're not a big fan of it, who cares? I mean, I've seen it over the years a couple times, and I'm not a big fan of it personally. It's Romeo and Juliet, and it's done as a musical with street gangs in early 60s New York that nobody cares about.
Talking about nobody cares. I want to bring that up and one other spooky thing.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. James Cameron, I'm talking to you. Either give us the next Avatar or don't. I'm tired of hearing about it. There was all these things again where it's coming and we're making it. It's going to be the best ever, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about the first one anymore. So even though it's the largest movie ever, somehow nobody knows characters' names. Nobody dresses as them. Nobody quotes the movie.
Only for about 2 to 3 years after it came out did I see cosplayers, and after that they were done.
They were done. Nobody can quote the movie.
Yeah. Well, and I talked to people that had been to Disney but are now at Universal when I was there this past weekend, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we rode that that Avatar ride. It was all right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Avatar."
You can't drag. He's been hyping this up for so long. Nobody cares anymore. So just stop.
Well,
make it or don't.
It's been like 6 years. Oh yeah, I'm doing this. I'm going to do 3 new movies, and it's been 6 years. And I keep saying it's coming out next year, 2022, and then probably next year we're like, oh, it's going to be another year because it's going to be the most fantastic movie ever. I saw Avatar once. It was Dances with Wolves with aliens. That's all it was.
And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
Visually, it was stunning, but story wise, it's not something I can watch over and over again because it wasn't anything unique other than the look.
Right. Yeah.
So
and then the other weird thing is this. This is my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Just to show you how much they spy on you. We were walking through Costco and I saw the rack of adjustable dumbbells. And I just simply said to Jill a comment saying, "Oh, look, adjustable dumbbells." That's it. It's now in my feed as an ad. And then right next to it is Shut the Box. Jill bought this game the other day, and we played it last night, and I simply mentioned the name. And look, it's in my feed. I've never searched for either of these. Nothing. We just simply had a 1-sentence dialogue about each of these, and they are now both in my feed. They hear everything, people.
Yeah.
Everything.
I sure do. I guess that's that. I mentioned somebody that's popping up on my Facebook feed all the time. Or it's funny because at shows you talk about all kinds of different stuff with people, and then next time I look at my Facebook feed, I'm like, "What is all this crap out here? I just talked about it with somebody. I don't care about this."
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. So and there's Stacy.
Hi. Bye.
Hey, Stacy. So I got a chance to see Stacy this morning because I went and did my quick shop. So glad she got a chance to pop in on her break. So I hope she's having a good rest of her day. Say anything with everybody else. And thanks for chiming in today, Michelle and Kevin. And definitely Stacy there. And we will see you guys next week when we'll have more hilarity and fun and whatever we come up with. I don't know. We'll see you guys later. Bye.